Take a few deep breaths together. As we inhale, exhale, just feeling that inhalation. And as you continue to breathe, notice the awareness of your feet. Gonna feel a grounding class today to combat the lift of the moon. As the breath feels ready, it might want to take a pursed-lip breath before it transitions in and out of the nose, just pursing the lips and blowing the breath out through the mouth. That will help to regulate the nervous system. So if we're feeling a little bit more heightened, it'll drop us into our state of well-being and homeostasis. So anytime we lengthen the exhalation, it helps to regulate us into more of a state of well-being. Beautiful. I've had my eyes lowered. If you have, you can open them. We'll take one foot as you gauge which foot you want to start on, planting one foot into the floor of the foot that you want to start in your standing, lifting those toes up for a moment. And we've been really practicing getting this transverse arch on the floor. And when you do that, you can feel the inner arch muscles lifting. And so that's really important. And then you press all the toes into the floor. You can feel the whole circle of the heel. As you keep pressing down, you're going to lift up through the lower belly. You're going to gather the rib cage in without shifting the hips. Okay, you're going to feel that other foot lifting. See if from the pressing down, the gathering in, you can lift up. Okay, arms might be out to the side. You might bounce a little bit. You might not. See how your balance is today. Then you're going to start foot rolling. So I've got a ball and a dowel. Some of you might just have a ball. Some of you might just have a dowel. Some of you might have both. Good. Tennis ball. Yeah. Don't see those too often. It's fuzzy. Did you get it from the studio? Okay. Yeah. I actually pulled one out the other day for the first time. I was like, ooh, a tennis ball. I felt the fuzzy. Yeah, I know. Okay, so feel toes to heel. So this is a really good grounding exercise, especially when we're feeling, whether we're aware of it or not, the pull of the moon in the waters, the emotions kind of pulls and maybe contracts the body a little bit more so in the fascial awareness as the fascia is full of little liquid pockets. Okay, and then start to discover, do you need to find some rolling on one foot in a particular area? So outer edge of the foot, which would be pinky side, you might have a little lateral awareness. That for me, I know always on that lateral side for me is always really tight. You can always pin and spin or do an inside rolling. You can press into the dowel or the ball. It's really nice. Okay, Candace? Yeah, some water. We have glasses in the white thing when you walk into the right on one of the shelves. Yeah. Thanks, Michelle. So I also wanted to introduce to you as we're kind of going along, Michelle, which is kind of confusing because we both have the same name, but great in the sense as well. So next week I will be here, and then the following week I will be away for 1 week. So one of the Thursdays, which is next week, Michelle will be teaching while I'm away, and then the following one I'll be back. Um, just heading off on a little vacay to nourish. So Michelle's in today to meet you all. Um, yes, yeah, she'll hold you dearly. Yeah, and I'll be back at the after that. What's that? Okay, sun and like maybe 17-degree weather. That would be great. Yeah. That was like last weekend on the Saturday. That was so gorgeous. I went for a hike and it was amazing. I know I came home and Seamus was in the backyard with, but you were in your t-shirts and shorts reading on a deck chair. I was like, what? Okay, so feel once you're done your rolling, we're all going to be at different timing, but just check in, see how you feel. Let's do a little awareness of fascia. So we're going to do a little lateral stretch. So whatever foot you rolled, you're going to bring up that same arm. So for me, I'm on left side, and you can have the arm up. You can touch the shoulder. You can reach it over. You can also, which is one of my favorites, place the hand behind the skull and lean the hand and the head into the skull. So you can go over, hold for a breath or two, come up. You might just exhale over to one side and then come back up. And I just want you to feel the fascia and the muscles. They'll start to, once you've done a little bit of hydration, which we did, they'll start to do what is called a slide and a glide. So you'll feel as you go into the lengthening, the muscles and the fascia sliding. And then I want you to check on the side you have not foot rolled and just see, how does it feel? Is it a little bit stickier? I think it's always a fun one to feel it. You feel it in your shoulder, don't you, Donna? Yeah, I can tell right away when you lifted your arm up, that feeling in the shoulder. Yeah, you can always put your hand here and lengthen up through the elbow instead. And then just to have a little input, how our shoulder girdle is happening and moving. So we're going to do a little shoulder girdle work. You're going to plant the feet down, take that exhale, which most of you have at the mouth. Okay, pressing into the toes and the heel. Allow that leg to come up. Exhale, lift up and in. Okay, and as you take time, use your arms. Use your focal point, maybe 4 to 5 feet in front of you. See that bouncing quality is really helpful because you're starting to, use the muscles in a different way. Then you can start to roll through the foot. Good. Mhm. Feel the breath. Maybe it's out the mouth, maybe it's out the nose, maybe you're doing a little bit of both. Oh. Find spots that you might want to pause in and do that pin and spin or a little compression. You might hold the compression for varied lengths of time and then ease off and then go back in. Sometimes you'll hold the compression in a certain area. You're always the judge of pressure. Remember, if your body says it's too much, then you back off. And sometimes with fascia, less is more to start. And you'll feel when you hold an area for a certain period of time, slowly the fascia starts to unwind. Send signals to the muscles in the fascia to let go. Um, Check in if you want to do any work in your heels, the front pad of the toes again. With the dowel, it's quite nice to load both heels at the same time. You can stand on the dowel, trying to find the center of the heel where you'll feel your heel bone. And you can press that heel bone into the dowel and the toes into the floor, and just take a moment to stand. You can open heart and chest a little bit by just allowing the palms of the hands to face forward. And just notice that you wiggle the fingers and the thumbs a little bit just to soften the hands. We do continually have tightness in the hands. A little bit of head circling is coming in here. And so I think of drawing, and you can even feel on your head, if you go from your hairline and you walk back, you can feel the highest point of your head, which for me is here. And you can imagine as you reach up through that point that you have a little pencil there, and that you're circling very small circles on the ceiling to nourish the neck. But anytime you get a little bit dizzy, pause, recalibrate, go the other way, feel your feet, bend the knees a little bit. And so your circle can be, not too big, but you can slowly increase it. But you always want to keep the back of the neck long. And we're just nourishing the disc in between cervical spine. Good. Once you complete that, you're going to release and finish your rolling of your foot. See if any other spot wants to be rolled. Just going to go back. My body was calling for a little bit of ball works in this one. And then you're going to go back to the second side of your releasing. So if you forget, it's whatever foot that you just rolled. You're going to bring that arm back up, and then you're going to check, has the mobility of slide and glide changed through the body? Yeah. And we're going to do a forward fold in a moment. And so we're going to find the feet hip width apart. Notice if you need a little bit more space. We're going to inhale, press the feet down as you exhale. Feel the gathering in. Inhale, lengthening up through the body. Now you felt the top of the head, so feel that lengthen as well. Little bend to the knees as you start to feel your pelvis come forward. It's going to keep it in a flat back as you come down. You're going to keep bending the knees, so you're going to find a right angle here. So your head, spine, and pelvis should be in one line. You're going to exhale, gather the rib cage in the front body, pull it in a little bit. So some of you, that SH breath, that shh. We're going to circle the arms here. So we're just nourishing the shoulders. This is really helpful for the connective tissue around the shoulder, as it sometimes starts to adhere to the shoulder capsule. So you're going to circle both directions, soft fingers, thumb, wiggle them, swing, just play a little bit in motion. Sometimes body even wants to come in. So we've been playing last week with a little bit of shearing in 3-dimensional, so you can even reach through the body, come a little bit to the side, a little bit forward. If you want to go deeper into your forward fold, you can bend the knees, feel the belly and the thigh meet, and then slowly unwind through your spine. Remember that you are increasing the blood pressure up towards the brain. So you want to just check in that your nervous system and blood pressure feel okay with this. Always that sense of if we have high blood pressure that's not controlled, we want to stay a little bit less going into forward folds. Okay, arm position here. You can let the arms dangle. You can also take right hand, hold left elbow, left hand, hold right elbow. Let the elbows be heavy. That's going to tug on the fascia and the muscles in the back of the body, all the way up to your sacrum, your lower back, and your sacrum. Yeah, you got it. Now watch, some of you are really heavy in your heels. I want you to bend your knees and find your toes as well. Okay, so it's a little shift forward in your feet. Here, that's better, Donna. Okay, and then you decide when you're ready to come up. So you might bend the knees. Remember, if you need a little bit extra support, hands can be on thighs. As you root down, you start to think of pulling up through the top of the head, and you'll just feel the spine lengthen back up. Okay, we are going to go into some spinal twists when you're ready. No rush. Maybe a little tapping just to come back into body. And just checking how we're doing for heat. It feels like we're heating up quite well in the studio. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Let's do a few shoulder rolls as we pause and slow that down. Feel the feet. Press them into the floor. Inhale, draw the shoulders up. Roll them back. Exhale, bend the knees. Let them come down. So that inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Those are part of our daily routine every time we come in on Thursday, just to let any holding through the upper shoulders go. Let's do one more in this direction, and then we're going to change. We're going to go the other way. So we're going to inhale up, forward, exhale down. Once you've done a couple in this direction, go into inhaling, gently squeezing the shoulders up to the ears. So we create that compression. Hold it for a moment and then exhale, just let it drop. Good. Feel your feet press down into the floor this time as you draw the shoulders up. Squeeze it, you hold it for your amount of time, you let it go. When you're ready, 1 to 2 more, your timing. Remember, your other alteration is bringing it up and slowly descending through a pursed-lip breath. So you imagine that your shoulders are filled with air, and as you exhale out the mouth, you feel that you slowly let the air deflate. So sometimes one release works better, sometimes the combination of the two. You do another 1 or 2, you choose what works. Oh. Good. Take a moment to feel your Tadasana. That's your mountain pose, where you are right now and standing. At different times when we're out in the world, we can take note. How am I standing? You're standing in line. You're standing cooking. How's your weight distribution on your feet? Feeling solid and strong, but also easeful and fluid. We always play with those two qualities in this class. So we're going to play with our strap. And so we're going to bring, so you're going to have an option. My slow-mo ball is not fully deflated, but you're more than welcome to use it. I'm going to use my block today because I'm going to switch it out and do something a little bit different. But I want you to feel, if you have the slow-mo ball or the block, you can play with. Does it feel better to be closer to the knees? Does it feel better to be in the inner thighs? Does it feel good to be up towards the pelvic floor? I also, for me, when I use the block, will turn it on its length. And that gives a different awareness. If you've never used the block, you might find that you find a little bit of a different connection. Okay, so we're going to put the strap around the forearms. middle of the forearm. So try not to be close to the wrist. And I want your wrists in neutral, palms facing one another. There you go. Bend the knees a little bit. Feel your toes. There we are. Okay, so you're going to have a leaning out into the strap. So about 30, 40%. And so we're now bringing in the whole chain of the arm to the shoulders and strengthening the whole arm and the shoulder girdle muscles. So we're using the strap as we start to lean out into it. Inhale, exhale. Just find your range of motion. Now check in. Look at your arms when they come up. Am I tilting? Am I even? Don't worry about how high you come up. You're just going to go up and down. Keep leaning out into the strap. Keep squeezing the block. There you go. Good. Yeah. Good, Donna. Notice how your torso is kind of pulling forward. So I want you to stand up a little bit taller. Yeah. Keep your shoulder blades as if they're leaning against a wall. You got it. Up and down, nice and tall. So you're in Tadasana still. Can you feel this in your shoulder girdle working? Yeah, good. So because it's a chain reaction of a lot of muscles working together, you might feel the awareness distributed through the whole torso and arms. Sometimes we can have part of the arms that are not working as a chain. And so sometimes if we get a lot of tension in the forearm and the hand, then we're not working the upper arm, or we might be stuck in the shoulders. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our squat. So I'm only turning sideways just to show you what we're doing so you can have a visual. So you're going to leave the arms down, a little bit of leaning. You're going to squeeze the block, sit down. Let the knees come over your big toe, second toe, third toe. They can pass over the ankle. There you go. And now see, do you want to lift the arms up a little bit by leaning out into the strap? And then when you come up, lower the arms down a tiny bit. We're just going to do that a couple more times. We're going to come back into our squat. Feel your outer heel. And I'm going to bring in one little cue. And so you're going to keep your strap on, but I'm going to show you something in the heels. One thing I find to help engage the outer hips is if you think of your heels pressing down into the floor, and then you think of trying to spread the mat apart with your heels. Does that make sense when I say that? Okay, so try it when you go down into your squat. Now try to spread the mat apart with your heels. Can you feel your outer hips coming into play a little bit more? Hello to the outer hips, right? Yes. Okay, so we're bringing arms and the abductors in as well. So come down, feel the mat squeezing apart, press the inner heel into the floor. You might even just hold it for a few breaths. Keep lifting heart. Yeah, just do one or two more. We're doing the whole body here. Keep pulling the mat apart. Yeah, there it is. Root those toes into the floor, that big toe on that left foot. There you go, Candace. Good. When you're ready, pause. Take everything out. Good. That feel okay? Yeah. Good. So feeling the heels pulling out, did that change a few things for some of you? Yeah. What did you guys feel that was a little bit different than not having? Yeah. And so when you pulled out, you felt a little bit more balance. Yeah. Anyone else? You could feel the glutes a little bit more. Yeah. It's kind of good, right? Donna, could you feel that in your body? You were concentrating on your arms, which is totally fine. It's hard because I'm splitting your attention. I'm asking you to do a lot of different things, right? I get it. So, so now we're going to take that awareness into warrior one, and then we're going to go into, which we haven't done, is warrior three. So we did it a couple weeks ago. So I just want you to notice if doing that little bit of work helps. So you're going to find the short end of your mat, feet parallel. There you go. So you're going to come up towards the top. Good. Now just exhale, ground here. Bend the knees a little bit. And even notice, what did it feel like when you were standing a little bit and you were just tugging the heels out just a tiny bit? So you're imagining that you're pulling the mat apart. And just see if you can feel all the toes and see if you can feel a balance of in and out. Good. Now you're going to keep right foot rooted. You're going to lean forward, bend the knees, lift the left leg up as you press down. See if you can step it back 3 to 3.5 feet. Remember, you're going to walk your right foot out a little bit to create more space, or the back foot out. So you want parallel feet. So you don't want to be balancing and crossed over. You want enough space, and your hip bones are facing straight ahead. Good. Front knee is bending. Good. Back leg, you're pressing down and through. Have a little bit of a bend. Now watch this leg. It needs to roll in a little bit. So your left thigh, roll it in, and that will shine your headlights of your hips straight ahead. And now feel toes. Notice, do you need to have a little tugging of the heels out a little bit? Is that helpful cue for you? As you bring your arms up, imagine you have the strap there. Good. Nice. Yeah, so you can feel without lifting the heel off the mat, you can notice if you want to tug the heels out as if you're going to spread the mat apart. Relax the shoulders. Feel that you're leaning out into the strap, even though it's not there, through your forearms. Good. One more breath. Find a little bit more openness in the heart if you can by rooting your feet down. Good. You're going to bring arms down now. You're going to touch the hips. You're going to come forward. And so you're going to start to feel your left heel become light, the front foot become heavy. Press it into the floor. Now, if you need to, arms can come out to the side. You can come forward. Toe can stay on the floor of that left foot, or it can start to rise up as the torso comes forward. You're going to teeter forward as that leg lifts up. Back foot, toes are pointing down to the floor. Excellent work. Yeah, you've got it, Donna. Yeah, don't worry about bringing your foot up. It's okay. Then just come up to standing, bring left foot to meet right. Good, shake it out. Good, do a few little ankle circles. Okay, we're strengthening ankles right now, legs, hips. It's gonna be our last one, and then we're gonna go to the floor. So you're gonna feel feet hip width apart, bend the knees, step right foot back, 3 to 3.5 to 4 feet. Now notice, do I need to walk the left foot out, the right foot back? Roll your right thigh in. There you go, hips facing straight ahead. Lift the heart, left knee bends, arms float up. Feel as if you're leaning out into the strap. Notice if pressing the heels and the toes into the floor was helpful, and then also a little gentle tug out through the heels if it works for you. Keep the back of the neck long, widening. Breathing here, feel your strength. Notice which toes are not on the floor. Big toe, big toe. There it is. Yes, Donna, that helps you. Get that right big toe on the floor. Press it in. There it is. Now, arms come down, hands on the hips. Start to shift the weight into your left foot. The right foot becomes light, and you might just stay with the toes of the right foot on the floor. Okay, to come and lift the leg up, you're not really lifting it up. All you're doing is bringing the torso a little bit forward, and then the leg starts to lift. Arms can go out to the side. Gather in your core. Exhale, maybe an SH breath. There it is, Donna. Yeah, you're getting it. And then you're going to step right foot to left. Shake it out. Yeah. Do a little ankle circling. Nice. We're going to transition down to the floor now. Okay, so we're going to flow from the top of the mat. You're already there. Hands at heart. Take a moment to arrive, be here. Settle into the toes, the heel. Soften the shoulders. Widen the heart. Widen your shoulder blades. Feel your whole body from your feet through your legs through your pelvis, through your torso. Lean the palm of the hands gently, evenly into each other, through the fingers, soft neck. Little reaching up the top of the head as you exhale the arms down. Root the feet into the floor, float the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. You're going to shift your weight a little bit back into the heels to come forward. But then once you come down into your forward fold, so you choose halfway or full, then you're going to bend your knees a little bit more and shift your weight into your toes. And then you slowly start to press the feet into the floor and your legs will lengthen to its desired length. Lifting up through the back line of the legs. Good, you're going to bend the knees generously. You're going to put the hands on the floor. They are in front of the feet. Okay, so maybe half a foot, but widen the hands. So your hands are the width of the mat. And then you're going to step back. And I want you to notice you always step back with the same foot. If you do, change it up. One foot, the other foot, big step back. Now we've been working on downward dog. So the palm of the hand is in the floor, pressing your index and your thumb a little bit more into the floor. Generously bend the knees, lengthen the torso back. There it is. Yes, there it is. Good, Jane. Donna, how does it feel to get the palm of the hands on the floor? Does it feel okay? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Okay, you can walk it out here. You can come down into a child's pose when you're ready. Knees come down, they widen, hips sink back. If they choose, arms extend. Maybe forehead comes to the floor. Maybe you cross the hands to support the head. Some of you might want to go into another little lateral stretch, which is so good. This is deeper. You can reach through the arms, the hands, but also sink the hips back. So you feel an oppositional tug in the upper and lower body. Nice, you got it. And you stay there for as many breaths as you want. You transition to the other side. Come back into center whenever you're ready. Pause. We'll take a couple more breaths here. We're going to come up and do some spinal waves. So either if your knees are not feeling great today, you're doing these seated. If your wrists are not feeling great today, you're doing them on your knees and your forearm and your elbows, which looks like this, elbows stacked under the shoulders, or the palm of the hand underneath the shoulders. Little bend of the elbows if you have the arms straight. Knees under the hips. Okay, you can have the top of the feet flat or the tucking of the toes. You're going to exhale first, so tailbone, pelvis reach down, push the floor away, round the back up through the lower back, all through the whole rib cage, the neck and the head, let go. Then you start from the pelvis again, lift the sit bones. The lower back arches, the belly releases to the floor. There's a slow opening through the whole front of the chest. Very soft gaze, so try not to lift the head too high because you're thinking of keeping the back of the neck long. And go back and forth here. See if you can notice the waves starting at the pelvis and rippling up the spine, ending at the head. And the neck is staying equally widened as the throat, especially when you inhale and lift the head. Good. You're going to pause here for a moment. You're going to roll over to one hip. And we're going to sit for a moment. So I want to give a couple options for sitting. Some of you are going to feel comfortable to just sit nice and tall. Some of you are going to have a chip foam block, which I don't have today. But some of you are going to sit on a bolster. Some of you might sit on your slow-mo ball. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate with a bolster today. Your choice. What feels good? Always when I sit on a bolster, one of my legs kind of talks to me. So I'm just going to use my slow-mo ball to support my left leg. I usually just sit on the floor. It's kind of funny when I add height, it's less comfortable for me. But I'm going to be here with it. See what happens. Okay, so when we're here, we sometimes have a tendency to either lean back too far or lean forward. Or that, right? And so sometimes you'll see when you're sitting at the computer, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm doing the turtle and I've totally compressed and this is not good. So you do want to press the pelvis down into the floor or your support so that you're lengthening. And so we're not popping the ribs forward, but the ribs are sinking back. So if I was to come and draw a line through your body, you are in a straight line. Okay, so there's a stacking quality. I'm going to bring the arms up and do a little bit more shoulder strengthening to connect that chain. So we're going to go into a box arm. So I want you to bring your triceps back. And I want you to try to get your elbows in line with the shoulders. So I can see mine are dropping. So I need to lift mine up a little bit. Yeah, good. And then turn the palms to face one another and bring your forearms in line with your elbows. And imagine that you're pressing the back of the hands out into a box. Good. Yes, excellent. Reach a little bit of energy out your triceps and your elbows. So your tricep muscle connects not only to your humerus, which is your arm bone, but it also connects to your shoulder blade. So as you reach out through your elbows, can you feel your shoulder blades widening for some of you? Okay, we're strengthening our shoulders at the same time. Okay, release that, let it go. Shake it out. And we're going to do it again. So coming up, leaning out. So that feeling like we have the strap there. Now lift the elbows because they're going to want to drop, but you're not lifting the shoulders up. So you're drawing them down. Now, keeping this is when it's going to get a little bit tricky. I want you to bring the hands up like you're saying stop. Yeah, now watch. Forearms are going to want to come in. Keep them in line. Okay, inhale. Elbows lift. Exhale. Grab the air. Now lifting up through the elbows, the forearms, do a very soft fist. Now I check. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm even. And then you're going to burst the hand open. Beautiful. Let's see if we can do it one more time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, gently grab the air. Watch your elbows and your forearms are not coming off. Burst it out. Good. Can you do one more? Can you feel your arms? I can feel mine. I don't know about you. Yeah, they're burning. Inhale. Let's do it a little bit quicker. Exhale, grab the air. Yeah, burst it open. Let it go. Ooh, I know. It's like, hello, right? So wherever you felt it burning was where you least use that part of your arm. So what I'm doing, yeah. So what I'm doing is connecting the whole chain of the arm today. Okay, because sometimes we overuse, which is very common to overuse your forearm and your hands. And then you get, gardening, right? You start using this and then you forget about this. You forget about connecting the whole arm. Okay, your arm works as a chain. So your shoulder blade is the anchor. So every time you reach your arm up, the shoulder blade anchors this movement. So because your rib cage is connected, you got to notice what's happening here when you do this, right? So we're doing a little bit of work today to notice that. So we're going to lengthen the legs, shake it out. We want to do a little bit of releasing, a little bit of heart opening on our belly. So we're going to just lie down. Okay, come onto our abdomen. So you can be facing into the center of the room. Forearms are at the top of the mat. Forehead is on the back of your hands as they're stacked. Tuck your toes under, lean them into the floor, press the toes into the floor, and you might feel your knees, your shins, the thighs, some of it come off the floor as you reach back through your heels. Reach out the top of your head forward. Yeah, there you go. We're just releasing the neck. when we are in this pose, which is called crocodile, or in Sanskrit, makara, it helps to release the neck muscles. We're just lengthening the whole back line. You're going to release the pressing of the toes in a moment. Let the legs release. Let the top of the feet come back to the floor. Okay, check in. Sometimes we can do a little bit of wiggling here of the torso, the legs from side to side. Okay, so we're gonna then take the arms down beside us. We're gonna do a few different movements here to strengthen the back today. So palms are up, back of the hands are on the floor. Feet can be at a comfortable distance apart. Now you're gonna root the pelvis into the floor. So you're gonna feel your belly button first as you exhale, press it into the floor. The lower belly, the outer hip bones, maybe even the top of the thighs. Feel that rebound of the torso lifting and lengthening off the floor. Keep the gaze down. Some of you may feel that from the rebound, the shins and the feet are off the floor as well. Some of you, they'll be on. Just keep pressing the belly into the floor. Good. And then you're going to lower down, control it. We're going to do that just one more time because we're going to do a series here. So you're going to press the floor away through the belly, the hip bones, the top of the thighs. Reach back through the toes, out the top of the head. You've got it. Feel your back nice and strong here. Good, you're gonna come down. Now we're gonna come up with the arms. I want you to go into a V, thumbs up towards the ceiling. We're gonna work on our middle back now. And see, these are the muscles, our serratus, our rhomboids, and the lower trapezius that helping the shoulder blades stay a little bit anchored down your back, especially when you're lifting heavy things overhead. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to press belly into the floor. See if you can start to lift your thumbs up so your arms are coming off the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit together. Yeah, see if you can lift your arms. Keep your feet on the floor if you can. Yeah, see if the arms can lift up off the floor, Donna. There it is. And then come back down. Okay, if you're finding this challenging, that means that you're a little bit weaker in the back. Okay, so keep the feet on the floor for this one. Exhale, press the belly into the floor. Lift up. See if you can lift the arms up. Lift the thumbs up. There it is. And lower back down. One more. You got it. Press the belly. Lengthen and lift. Lift the arms, thumbs up. Yes, excellent work. Good. Come down. Bring the arms, support the head. Wiggle. Lift the shins and the feet up. Let the feet and the shins come off the floor. I'm just turning my head so I can speak a little bit easier. Remember, you can always turn your head to the side if you want. Okay, how did that one feel? Is that okay? We've done cactus arms before, but we haven't done that one where we're pointing the thumb up. Can some of us feel the muscles in the back working a little bit more? Okay. We're gonna do one last one. Okay, so arms are gonna be straight ahead this time. Little bend of the elbow. Now, I want you to feel, because we're gonna do opposite hand and opposite leg lifting. So whatever hand and foot is on the floor in your belly, you're going to think of this diagonal connection through your body. So we're going to start with left hand and right foot pressing into the floor. So I want you to start to feel belly, left arm, right foot press into the floor. Then as you do that, let the right arm and the left leg gently lift as you let your torso lift. There you go. Okay, come down. Now press right hand, left foot into the floor, belly, lift left arm, right leg. There it is. Come back down. One more time. If you need to take a break, you take a break. Press the, hold on, I'm getting confused. Left hand, right foot into the floor. We're lifting right arm, left leg. Yeah, sorry. You take a pause if you need to. Okay, right arm, left leg roots. Press belly, left arm, right leg lifts. Beautiful. Cross the arms, rest the head, lift the feet, the legs. You got it. Good work, you guys. We're going to roll on our back. Oh, yeah. Sweet stuff. We are going to end in a nice, relaxing way today. Good work today. Good work. This is going to feel so good because you put the effort in, right? So just take a moment, be here. Wiper the legs, draw the legs in. Notice how you feel. I know Tina came up to me today. She's like, "Are you going to be soft?" I'm like, yeah, maybe. No. Not today. But we were soft, but it was strengthening. Okay. So let's do a little release. Just because we have a full moon upon us. Okay, so you're going to hopefully, does everyone have a pink ball? And if you want, you can flip around. That's what I'm doing. I'm just getting up and flipping around. So Tina, we're going to do the flow from yesterday that you did. And so you'll know this one, Mom, you'll know this one from yesterday. So you're going to take your block. You're going to take your 4-inch block and put it by your left hip. Okay, so it can be down on the middle height. It can be on the higher height. It can also be flat. You're not going to know. Some of you already know if you've done this one before. Okay, you're going to draw the right leg up. You're going to externally rotate it. You're going to put your right ankle on your left thigh. I also want you to locate your ball. Okay, so just put it so you're like, okay, yeah, there's my ball. I've got my bolster on my right side and my block on my left. You might need it. You might also, which I'm just looking for my slow-mo ball, put your slow-mo ball by your right hip as well. Okay, so we're going to take a moment here to check in. If you feel any neck concerns, put your chip foam block behind the head. If you feel tight in your shoulders, so you can put that black covered block behind your head. Okay, we're going to press. We're going to use our core to lift the legs. So I want you to press your right ankle and your left thigh into each other. See if your left foot can become light and lift up. Some of you may even wrap your hands behind the left thigh. Some of you might just put your left hand on your left thigh and your right hand maybe on your right thigh and just open that right thigh up a little bit. So you're just going to gently lean it away. Breathe here, relax your shoulders. And we're going to do some holding and release. Keep sinking your pelvis heavy into the floor. Good. Just going to pause here. Now you're going to very gently just do a little bit of rock of left to right, just with the leg in the air. Good. Then you're going to lower the left foot to the floor. You're going to inhale and you're going to exhale and you're going to bring, as you lean off to the left, your right foot to that block. Now, some of you I know are a little bit more flexible and you don't use the block and you come to the floor, but just take time to get there. Okay, so then you're going to pull up, lift up through your lower belly, roll the pelvis back onto the floor to bring your legs back to center. Okay, so you're going to do that a couple times. Inhale, exhale, right foot to the block. Now, I want you, as you touch the block, I want you to notice this right leg. It's coming towards you. So I want you to lean it away. And then I want you to feel a heavy pelvis, heavy rib cage, even though you're not completely sunk into the floor on your right side because you're gently lifted, but you're sinking down. And then remember, the pelvis starts to become heavy as you roll across and you lift the lower belly to float the legs up to center. So do that one more time. Okay, then you're going to come up and then you can go to the other side, which is to the right. So I'm going to come and show you on a little bit more. Coming into center. If when you come over, you might not want to come too far. Some of you might want to use your slow-mo ball or your bolster to support that leg. Reach through your left thigh a little bit. Press the left foot into the floor. Lengthen through the quad and the psoas. Let your head do whatever it wants to. Keep reaching through left thigh. Keep pressing left foot into the floor. Good. Now you can kind of flow a little bit. So some of you might want to come out. So remember, you're allowing the pelvis to be heavy. You're lifting through lower belly. The legs are floating through center. Okay, so if you want to go back and forth, sometimes you might feel as you go to the left that you might want to just stay here and release the legs, soften the hips, heavy rib cage. You might feel that you want to go out to the side, to the right. And some of you then might want to take the ball and do a little bit of ball rolling. So you can roll under your right glute, because we did some glute work today. You can also, because we've been rolling out to the side, put the ball on the outside of the hip. So the TFL going down into your iliotibial band. So when you roll to the side, you're then rolling onto the ball. But remember, if that's too much for you, you can always take the bolster, lie on one side, put the knee and the shin on the bolster, and you can roll with your hand around the greater trochanter bone. You can go down the iliotibial band and into the hamstring. Good, it's right above you. There it is, Jane. Yeah, it was really close. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. There it is. Something in there, hey, Peggy, that you're feeling? Yeah, yeah. Does anyone need a ball that doesn't have one? Good. Nice, you got it. Good. If you have unclarity about where to put the ball, let me know. Good. This one right here, Jane, your body's really liking this one.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can feel. So as you press and root this foot a little bit more into the floor, then reach out through this quad. There it is. You feel how that releases all the way through the iliopsoas muscle, right? And you get that release all through the side. And then just take your rib cage and just soften it a little bit. Oh, that's okay. Sorry, I just had your foot in place. Just let your ribs just go. There it is, right? And then you're still pressing and you're reaching, but you keep softening the ribs back, right? Because they always, for most of us, they always want to do too much. Yeah. But right there's something happening for you. Yeah, on that side. Yeah. Yeah, I can feel it. So you're just going to play from side to side. Hey, if any of you want a little squash ball and you don't have one because I didn't bring them out today, and you're like, oh, that little squash ball is really singing to me today, you feel free, let me know. Hey, when you're ready to pause, feel both sides, you can release. Hey, but there's no rush here. I'm just giving you some space. Yeah, you just take that time to feel, Notice right to left. So we release not only the hips, but we release the lower back, we release the quad, we release the rib cage. Okay, this means that your block now is going on the right side. And if you're using a little support on your left, you can bring it there. It is left leg coming up, externally rotating, left ankle on right thigh. Pause, become heavy in the back of the pelvis. Okay, lean the left ankle and the right thigh into each other to help lift through your core to float the right leg up. So you can hold the right leg, you can press the left thigh back a little bit, you can hold behind the leg, you might not even use the arms. If you keep pressing your ankle and your thigh into each other, you've got a connection there that you're using some strength of your core to hold the leg there. So the closer the leg, the right leg comes towards you, and the more the left thigh opens up, you're going to feel more of a release through that outer hip. Okay, and then you can rock very gently here, just with the right foot in the air. Okay, we're just doing a little bit of shearing, three-dimensional shearing here in the air. Nice. When you're ready, that right foot comes to the floor. Then you're exhaling and you're turning over so that left foot is touching the block or the floor, those of you who want it. Remember that left thigh is releasing away, the left side of the rib cage is softening down. And then you're using the lower belly to lift up. You're letting your pelvis become heavy as it rolls back onto the floor. And you're just going over to the right first. You can hold it, you can float in and out, using your core to lift in and up. The legs are floating. The legs are moving because you've got an inner connection inside your body. Now, whenever you want, then you can float the legs over to the left. As you float over to the left, I sometimes like to just put my slow-mo ball underneath my left hip, or some of you might want to be on the floor. But as you float, plant that right foot into the floor, press it into the floor. Feel your right hip flexor, your right thigh lengthen, open up, soften your rib cage. I just want to open that whole right side there. Some of you might even reach the right arm up and back out on the floor. That will release the pec muscle as well. Yeah, good, you got it. You stay there, you come out, you're in control here. You can go into ball rolling at any time, just leaving the space for you to finish off your practice. Yeah, nice. Good. Remember, the legs, if you're going from side to side, are not the movers. It's your pelvis and your inner core. It's the power of the pelvis leading, and the legs are just following. Good. Okay, pause there for a moment. I'm going to give you a little release here. As you press this heel a little bit more down in the foot, there, felt that release. Yeah, it was right in that last little piece there. Uh-huh. I could feel your body was like, just give that last little release up through the hip flexor there, right? Yeah. Take your time. I want to do a little bit of work on nourishing the torso as well. So no rush, just whenever you're done, you pause. You come out, you just lie there either with the legs straight, arms out to the side, or the knees bent. You choose. And just feel your body. How does it feel? What's happening? Good. So nice to release that iliotibial band. Hey, Kevin. Yeah. Feel as you were doing it, your body's like, yes. It'll give you some more space. So if that's where you need to go, you go back there. So want to just take a little bit of time because some of you might want to do a little bit more work of rolling down the iliotibial. Some of you might want to do a little bit of work lying on your back. So I'm just standing so you can see me, massaging. So you can take the right hand, you can massage the ball in the hand, and then take the right hand to massage the left side of the chest. Hey, if you go through the chest on the left side, you can also play with the forearm, and I'll show this on the floor because it's quite nice just to stay on the floor. You can have the bolster supporting your, so I'm massaging my left arm, so I'm supporting my left shoulder and forearm on the bolster, and then you can massage through with the right hand. You can have palm down. You can also support and slide the bolster down a little bit to support the forearm, and then massage through the bicep. So just take a moment to be through the bicep and the tricep because we did do some work today. You might even massage through the shoulder capsule, surround your deltoid. Just want to nourish the whole body today. Let your left hip become heavier. resting on the floor. Yeah, drop it into the floor a little bit. Good. You can do forearm as well. So you can take that bolster, which is really quite nice, and you can roll over. If you're doing your left forearm, you're going to roll over onto your, oh God, I can't remember. Anyway, you're just going to roll onto your side. I'm sorry, I can't be that for you today. I'm like, I'm going to try. And then my brain was like, no. But anyway, whatever forearm you want to roll and hand, it's going to be up on the top of your body. Okay, so the other arm is down on the floor, and then you're going to take the ball and you're going to roll the ball under your forearm, and your head is on the bolster. And you might feel as you go through this that the hand is lifting up, which is meaning it's going into an extension. So I want you to allow the palm of the hand to caress the floor. And then when you go into all the way up towards the elbow, you can turn your forearm so your thumb points up towards the ceiling and you can get the side of the forearm. I'm demonstrating that. And then to get the back of the arm, you just got to come up a little bit and you would turn the palm to face up and you would massage the extensor muscles. So going through the extensor side of the hand. Yeah, yeah, you can massage in through there too. Yeah. Is that feeling like it's kind of reverberating up through the arm a little bit for you, Donna? Yeah. Because sometimes it might be you feel pain, but it might be in a different part of the arm too that might be holding, right? So this chain might be releasing. Oh, I like that. So we got some really good alterations here. I'll show that on camera. So we've got the lying on the side and rolling across the forearm. So some of us are doing cross fibering. I love when you guys come up with some new ideas here. Yeah, right. It's great. Yeah, yeah, that's a good spot for you. I feel like you're getting somewhere in there, hey? Yeah, good. Something down in that elbow, like, yeah, like right where you are, it's like the connection to your lateral, your elbow out. Okay, and so you can feel it's like holding a little bit in there for you. You can feel it. Okay, a little bit kind of shifting. Mm. I can feel something happening, going down and in there. Yeah, good. I love that you've got a new little wiggle your fingers a little bit too as you do it. So you can stay on one side for as long as you want. And then I just want you to lie on your back once you're done. There's no rush. I'm just giving you that invitation because I know some of you are done. And I want you to feel that whole arm compared to your other arm before you switch sides. Okay, so I want you to notice what is different. How is the shoulder blade resting on the floor, the shoulder, the upper arm, the elbow, the lower arm, the wrist, the hand? So we're feeling this whole chain today. And then you take your time, you might use the opposite hand to roll on the other side of the chest. You can do upper arm. Some of us were on our back, supporting the arm. Some of us laid on our side and we're doing a little bit of cross fibering under the upper arm. Yeah, and you stay on that side, Donna. It's like speaking to you today, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I feel like we've got a different spot there for you. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, good. Going into the forearm and the hand. Just noticing we've got about 3 to 4. Even take 5 if we need to. Minutes left on the side. Mhm. Yeah, there it is. Is that better? Yeah, having it extended, I think. Mhm. It's a little point there, Kevin. Hey, in the wrist there for you. Yeah, maybe from all the skiing and the grasping that you've been right doing. Yeah. You just let your body pause whenever it wants to, because we're towards the end of the practice. So your body will at some point say, I am just wanting to lie in stillness. Some of you are already there. Do you take some time, whether you just want to have the knees bent, or if you want to have the legs straight, or if you want to put a bolster underneath them? Maybe you find a wall and you scoot towards the wall. Other option too, which I've been giving a lot more to nourish the nervous system, is putting the bolster underneath the pelvis, lifting the legs up in the air, arms out to the side, palms up, just coming into our supported shoulder stance, inverting. You stay and hold anything for as long as you want. You come out when the body says it's had enough. Yeah, good. I was thinking of doubling up because the sandbags are a little bit light that I grabbed. So I was thinking, because I know you like it a little bit um stronger, just to go twice. There you go. Does that feel okay? Okay, great. I'm gonna move. Did you want something above your head or on your head? Trip bone block. There it is. Just moving that bolster out of the way just so you can let your thumbs open up. Yeah, there we go. Just let them take up space. Take a breath out the mouth if you haven't already. Nice. Do it again. Feel heavy. Time just to find stillness. You haven't. Ah, feeling the sweetness of integration as you welcome yourself at the end of your practice here today. You allow your breath to find its rhythm in and out. And you just take a moment just to revel in whatever is arriving for you. Slowly, as your body finds heaviness and it meets the ground, it meets your support. The unraveling of holding softly releases on each exhale. So, what no longer is needing to be carried is just gently released. So, that can be through a pursed lip, a sigh, a settling. And each time you settle, you feel the integration of the practice and realize this beautiful wholeness of who you are slowly unfolding from the inside through the layers of body and mind to the surface of the skin. Piece called from Rumi today that I'm going to share. I prayed for change, so I changed my mind. I prayed for guidance, and I learned to trust myself. I prayed for happiness and realized I am not my ego. I prayed for peace and learned to accept others unconditionally. I prayed for abundance and realized my doubt kept it out. I prayed for wealth and realized it is my health. I prayed for a miracle and I realized I am the miracle. I prayed for a soulmate and I realized I am the one. I prayed for love and realized it is always knocking, but I have to allow it in. But I have to allow it in. Take another minute here. So just to revel in our space, coming back home to self, that yoga offers us this union where we recognize not only the body, but the union of the breath, which links and calms our mind and allows this intuitive wisdom to unfold. Take your time just to feel your whole body. Maybe you do a little wiggling through parts, and it might be starting with the fingers. Excuse me, up through the arms into the shoulder girdle. We activated that whole chain. It might be through the feet, noticing that connection up the legs to the hip. A stretch, a yawn, a full integration, a rolling to the side, a pause if you wish. You're joining me in a seated position that nourishes you, height or no height. Arms out to the side, palms facing forward. Okay, rooting down through the pelvis. Take an exhale out the mouth once you arrive here. Beautiful, rooting down as you inhale, bringing the arms up. Remember, when you get to the height of the shoulder, if you want, turn palms down. You can even come forward, draw a top with a triangle. Palms touch, exhale, receiving. I want you to think, is there something that you'd like to reach up and gather to bring in? Sometimes the head lifts, sometimes it doesn't. Receiving. Doing that one more time. So we pause at the height of our shoulders, the heart. Rest there for a moment. I'm just going to do a little release of the forearms here, a little bit of neural flossing as we just bring the hands gently pressing into each other and just let the forearms and the wrists come down a little bit to a place that feels good for you. And then we're going to press left hand into right as we just let the arms swing. And then right hand presses into left and we swing to the other side. You're just going to swing from side to side. The arms move from the right hand pressing into the left as you move to the left. The left hand pressing into the right as you move to the right. Find this range of motion. You're not twisting the torso, just feeling a little rock and a little glide. Just connecting all the way up through our brachial plexus, nerves into our cervical plexus. Good. Pause when you're ready into stillness and center. Take a breath. Let the eyes slowly open. If they've been closed, lift your gaze. Oh, thank you for sharing, being here today. Always a pleasure to practice together. Mm.